Reg is dead.
After being sucked under into a cold, cold abyss of blackness, Reg never returned. Simon was left to his own devices somewhere. And we find ourselves overlooking a cold, grey castle sat beneath a mountain range on a grassy plain amongst some hills. In fact, on top of a hill, looking down over a grassy plain which stretches to woodland on either side. Pine forest reaching up the mountainside into the shadows, turning into snow. And as we swoop down into the castle, we can see smoke coming from chimneys, from fires from inside the main castle. There's a big wall, there's a small village inside the wall, and then there's another wall, so that one end of the castle is contained. And then there's a mound, and there is a fortification on top, which is sort of where the Lord lives. And that's where the wisps of smoke are coming out of chimneys which are stationed on the inside of the castle walls. And inside the castle, it opens up through a small little door, a side entrance, and the bustling kitchen opens out, full of smoke, full of people going about doing their things. And next to one of the fires is a girl called Libby, turning a spit with a pig on it in preparation for feasts to come. For it is heading towards the time of feasting. Libby's there with her friends. What are her friends called?
Her friends are called Sophie and Sam. Sophie and Sam.
Okay, so Sophie and Sam are with Libby working the spit, and you take it in turns. At the moment, Libby is working the spit. What does Sophie look like?
Sophie is a plumpish girl, young teen, plumpish, quite a short round girl, dark hair, quite straight dark hair.
Long or short?
Long.
What does Sam look like? So she is.
Sam is somewhat of a tomboy. She's a sort of.
Oh, Sam as in Samantha.
Sam as in Samantha.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sorry, you said Sam and I immediately thought boy.
Oh, that's weird. I said Sam, thought girl. So yeah, she's like a tomboy type character, where she's known to be interested in things that boys are usually interested in. She does things that young ladies, aren't often seen doing.
She wears breeches.
She wears breeches, yeah, and she plays in the mud with the boys, and.
Okay, what colour's her hair?
Her hair is, let's say, red.
Red, and she's pretty athletic.
Yeah, athletic.
She's always running around doing things.
Yeah.
Short hair as well, or long?
Short red hair. Yeah.
And Sophie, Samantha, Sam, and Libby, it's only 3 people by the way, are all in their liveried work clothes, which is blue and white vertical, quite broad stripes. It's kind of a pale blue. Blue's a very expensive dye to get, and it really symbolises the wealth of the castle. And it's Castle Frogmore.
Castle Frogmore.
So called because the moorland in the surrounding area is noted for its delicacy of the frog. Ooh. And so the frog is actually a symbol of wealth in this region. And it has the blue for the ponds and the white for the skies, and it's how the skies and the ponds reflect one another is part of the sort of why it's blue and white. Also, it's a major export as it's a delicacy in the King's Halls, many miles from here. And Sam just comes over to you while you're doing it. She starts tickling you.
Sam, stop it, will you? I'm trying to work here.
She's like, only tell me if you tell me what's going on with you and Ho dear.
Ho dear?
Ho dear is a boy you've known since you were young. He has black hair, he's about 15, and he's a bit older. Well, she's a bit older than you.
Black hair, 15. Yeah, because I'm like, what, 12, 13? Right?
Yeah, he's like one of the local boys you've grown up with. He's a couple of years older than you.
Okay. Ho dear, okay. What do you mean? What's happening between me and Ho dear? Nothing's happening between me and Ho dear.
Well, why not?
What do you mean? Because he's horrible, that's why.
He's like, but he's so fit. He can run as fast as me, and I can run faster than all the boys.
Well, you and Ho dear can run together all you like. I'm not interested.
But he's always looking at you.
Is he?
He never looks at me like that. And Sophie giggles at us. She's like,
oh, okay. So
she's just like, I'd be happy with the baker's son.
Who says that?
Sophie.
So Sophie.
I think Tamas he's wonderful. He makes the loveliest bread.
Did you say Tanis?
Tamas.
Tamas. Fancies Tamas. Baker's boy.
And he makes such lovely bread, and he's so kind and generous. And Sam just gives. She's like, oh, but he's such a fatty.
Okay, so Sam fancies Ho dear.
Yeah.
Possibly watching for too much Game of Thrones.
Well, look, it's just stuck in my mind.
When I said, she's a bit of a tomboy, I was going to say, just like Arya.
No copyright infringement intended.
Damn you, Thrones.
You've ruined everything.
Okay.
Hey, look, I changed it a little bit.
It's hard, isn't it? And then I turn to Sam and I go, ooh, Sophie fancies Tamas.
And she blushes and she's like, oh, stop being me.
I just chuckle to myself and continue turning the spit.
What does Libby look like?
Libby is she's tall. Quite slender. She is. She's like long-legged. Quite a tall, thin girl. Curly blonde hair, shoulder length. Very cute, tiny, cute little nose, bright blue eyes.
Sorry, his brother lets write down.
No.
And she is now a young woman in the eyes of the locals, and it's also all of you are the same age, so you're all sort of at that age where sort of boys and girls are expected to start to be looking for marriage and all this kind of malarkey, because it's an ancient time.
Day of the flowering age, yes,
exactly.
Indeed.
And so it's sort of... And even Sam, despite her tomboyishness, is still interested in the sort of possibility of marriage and what that means. And Sophie in particular is like almost ready to settle down at this point. You know, she's sort of like, I'm in love with the baker's boy. And it's coming towards the end of your shift.
Just to check on the battery power. There we are.
It's coming towards the end of your shift, except time for you to change, because each of you takes turns operating the spit to keep the spit turning consistently. And but Sam stops tickling you, and you swap roles. So now Sam is turning the spit, and you sort of hear a bustle and a sort of parting the crowd, and like, anyway, and sort of like, get back to work, chop faster! Sort of heading in your general direction, sort of people parting around somebody and come moving through the bustle towards you. And you know it to be Mildred, the mistress of the kitchen.
Mildred. The sort of kitchen...
Yeah, head of the kitchen. She's like the head cook.
Head cook.
Or mistress of the kitchen.
Or mistress of the kitchen.
And you can hear her sort of moving around, coming through the crowd.
Okay.
You taking a moment to rest, because turning the spit is pretty hard work. I mean, you sort of do like 10-20 minutes solid of just slowly, steadily turning the spit, keeping it turning to make everything cook evenly. Mm-hmm. It's one of the reasons you're very fit, and you never really quite understood how Sophie manages to stay so plump. In some respects, you're quite envious, because it's like, I don't have any like plumpness on it, but on the other hand, you have your whole own life going on. Mm-hmm. What are you gonna do?
I turn to the other girls and I say, quick, look like you're working.
Okay, so how are you looking like you're working?
Oh, so
Sam starts like turning it sort of ever so slightly faster, like to keep it to that nice even speed that it should be, rather than the slightly like, oh god, this is back-breaking work.
And what was Sophie doing? What did she take over?
She at the moment she's just sort of sat, and when you say that, she sort of jumps a bit and like looks around and goes to grab a big sort of ladling spoon, and there's a metal, like, what do you call it? It's like a tray for catching the dripping, but it's it's kind of deep, so that all the fat and everything drips down into it whilst it's being cooked, and it kind of sits in the fire, and it's a long ladle, and she starts reaching in and ladling the fat up onto the pig.
I say, good morrow, Mildred.
She's like, I hope you're working, you're not slacking off, young ladies. That must be the finest pig I've ever seen.
Oh, yes, of course. Nothing to be worried about, Mildred. Everything's fine.
There best be nothing to be worried about. Your father, he needs to come by sometime. We haven't seen him in the castle for ages, and he's meant to be the master of swords. What's up to him with him?
He's very, very busy at the moment. He's doing some very important business for Lord Streiter. Lord Streiter.
Lord Streiter. Well, I can't argue. Lord Streiter. Well, I can't argue with that.
Libby's dad is the...
Has he been stuck doing paperwork again? It doesn't suit him, you know.
Did you say Master of Arms?
Master of Swords.
Master of Swords, thank you. Well, yeah, Master
of Arms. Master of Arms would be the person that looks after the weapons, whereas Master of Swords would be like a sword master.
Who trains, okay.
Someone who teaches swords as opposed... So he'd be like the person that teaches the soldiers or what have you.
So Lord Streiter is the Lord of Castle Frogmere.
Yeah. He's like, I have the frog power!
And he points his sword at his frog and it turns into a big battle frog.
Well, you never know. Stranger things have happened.
A battle frog.
You be telling Drew that he needs to make sure that he eats properly, because we haven't seen him down here in ages, and it
If I get to see him and he's looking skinny and like wrong, then I'll be unhappy, and I'll take you for account, young lady, and you best be doing all this properly, and if you don't, then I'll have to come down and sort it out, and I'll come down there and I'll bring you all food whether you like it or not, and I'll make you eat it, and I'll make him eat it, and I'll sit down and I'll force it down your gullets.
Yes, my lady, yes. I know what you mean. I often tell him he's looking very thin these days, but I will tell him, yes, of course.
She notices Sam has sort of started to slow turning the pig, and she's always carrying around like a wooden spatula, and she just sort of backhands the back of her hands like, you young lady, just because I'm talking to young Libby here doesn't mean that you can slack off, keep yourself working. She's like, yes, mistress, and keeps on turning. She's like, now you young girls mind, you're almost done with your shift for today, and there should be a relief coming soon, so make sure that you get away when you need to.
What did you name her, Dad?
Hasn't got a name at the moment.
Did you not rename?
He just said father.
Father!
The Mildred, didn't she call him something?
No, she said father, master of swords. She never references name.
Did she not reference his
Nah,
name?
because I couldn't think of one.
I thought, the weird thing is, I thought I heard you call him Drew. Which is weird.
Drew it is then.
That's so weird. Honestly, I thought I heard you call him Drew. So Drew Wentworth. Obviously short for Andrew.
Obviously.
Alright.
She then gives Libby a sort of an affectionate reference. She's like, you do good work, young lady, and all of you young ladies do good work. She sort of gives everybody else a little bit of a rough on there. She's like, you Sophie, you've got to make sure that you just don't eat too many pies. And Sophie's like, yes, ma'am, like totally like the look of total like bleakness across her face, like I wish people would stop saying things like that to me, it's really fucking horrible. I know and like sort of Sam titters a little bit in a kind of semi-vicious teenage child kind of a way. Mm-hmm. I mean nothing by it, but it kind of makes me giggle.
Yeah.
What does Libby do?
So you say the shift is almost over.
Yep.
And some relief is coming soon. So I think I'll just tidy up the kitchen a little bit, like put all the used stuff in one area, and sort of like, you know, clean up a little bit, tidy up, make the place look sort of presentable.
Okay, as she's walking back and she glances back, you get a little grin sort of spread over Mildred's face as she glances back, like, oh, they're working good then, girls. And whilst you're just sorting stuff out, you hear a bell ringing, and you know that that's the signal for shift changes, so somebody else should be arriving very soon to take over. So you also know that you could dash off now and take your leave, or you could wait for the other girls and wait for the shift change to happen, because it's like you just happen to be finished at the point where you've just finished your work and you've done some tidy. You could just up and leave, or you could wait for the other girls.
No, I think Libby's a very sort of. She's a very independent person. I think she has stuff that she would like to do with
what
her
is it that
she doesn't sort of like hang around to hang around, you know.
So what is it that she needs to do?
She leaves the kitchen and she heads straight for the kennels.
Okay. So she's just bye Sam, bye Sophie, got a dash, I've got chores to run. And you dash off through this bustling kitchen. It's full of livery staff. There must be about 50 people that work in this kitchen. All day, every day, sort of rotating shifts, so that there's always food being prepared, especially in the build-up towards the feast time. And this particular feast is the Feast of the Hungry Crow, which is it's a late autumn, early winter festival, as it is heading towards winter. It's late autumn. It's sort of
festival,
almost Halloweeny, I suppose, in some respects.
Yeah.
It's
sort of late autumn festival, yeah.
And it's sort of it's the crow is symbolic of the carrion. It's like it's getting to the point where the death of the world is about to occur as you descend into winter, and everything sort of dies back. and the crow that feeds off the carrion, and so we have to bear in mind that we do not wish to become the carrion eaters ourselves, and so we must be careful and store things up properly. And it's also the crow is a bird which is black because once all crows were white, but a long time ago, long time faded, way back into the time of myth, legend, and children's story. The crows were once white, or so the tale goes, but they gave up their white feathers because, in order to save save humans from themselves, one of the crows came to teach us, and we, being arrogant creatures, slung the bird down and threw it into the fire to tell it that it didn't know what it was on about. But being a bird which is to do with sort of life and death, it died only to rise from the fire, much like a phoenix, and hence it's stained black ever since. So it's also about the death and the beginning of death, which will lead to renewal. Libby dashes through the crowds, sort of waving at people, saying like, "Hi, bye, see ya." Everybody sort of gives her a smile and a wave and a nod. And there's a small door that leads out into the courtyard, and then so you come out literally straight into the courtyard of the main fortification. And there is a main gate out of this fortification, which is the fortification that's on top of the hill. Sorry, I'm just drawing a quick map for myself. And then there's a gate which leads out, which leads down to another gate which leads out into the village.
Okay.
Are you going to the kennels?
Yeah.
Okay, so the kennels are actually in the courtyard. So you come out of the courtyard, and also in the courtyard you can see all the training facilities. There's a small stables wedged up against one wall where all of the finest horses are kept. And at the other opposite end of the courtyard, sort of, so just out, and then on the left from to your left, you come out the door, to your right there's the keep and the way out, or the way out of the keep, the gatehouse, sorry. And then to your left there is the kennels. And in the opposite corner from the kennels, there's the stable. So you come out and you turn left and you head towards the kennels, and you dash in to see the what is it? It will be the
Kennel master.
Kennel master, Jeffram.
Jeffram.
Who is an old friend of your father's, an old friend is an old friend of the family, and you've very much grown up with him. And actually, it's his son who is Hodir. And it's Jeffram Dogram. Jeffram Dogram. Yeah,
That's his name.
Yeah.
That's his name.
Jeffram Dogram. Yeah, man. Why not?
Jeffram Dogram, and he come. The kennel masters have been like known for it, and the Dogram is an old name from these parts associated with families that have been consistently sort of kennel masters and pass it on from father to son.
It seems that there is a strong sort of like it seems like animals play a very large part in the history of this place. Dogram, the Feast of the Crow.
These are very much people who live on the land, from the land, and so they are very much dependent on it. And also, I think it's an ancient hunter-gatherer people rather than a settled farming people. Okay. There are outlying farms, and farming is a thing now, but it's not where the origins of the people from this area are like known for. They're known as hunters and traders and explorers.
Okay.
And so they are very much familiar with sort of hunting is very much an important thing for them as a people.
So their identity is very much based on
Their
relationship with nature
and with
the
animals in particular, rather than with plants.
You see, now that bit of information would never have existed if you didn't just go, fuck it, yeah, Dogrum. You know, never second guess your first idea, man.
Absolutely.
There you go. Okay, so I like it. Hodir is the Kennel Master's son. Lovely. Okay.
So you just Libby is how does she enter? Does she just sort of burst?
She just bursts in. No, she throws the doors open, runs in, and goes, Jeffrey!
Like, whoa! Calm down, love. As the door smashes open, you almost smash him in the face with the door. He's like, calm down.
She leaps into his arms.
He's like, oh God, yeah, hi Libby, hi. He's like, oh hi Libby. He's like, I'm not quite like young enough for this kind of malarkey anymore, young lady. But he does give her a real strong squeeze and sort of gives her a bit of a spin and puts her down again, and mostly in order to not fall over. Like the spin is like, whoa! Okay, thank you. How are you, young Libby?
I'm very well. I'm very good. I've got some good news for you, Jeffrey.
Oh, what might that be?
I have that poem that you were asking for.
Oh, my wife will be so happy. She's keep on telling me that I've got no love for her, and I really do. But I never seem to be able to say anything right.
Well, I've been working on this for a very long time, and I really hope it makes your wife very happy. And okay, so here it is. Here it is. Okay. Love is everywhere. Love is nowhere. You are everywhere. You are nowhere. I am love. You are love. You are me and I am you. Together we are everywhere in love.
Roll the dice. And charisma.
20! Natural 20!
Alright. He breaks down and starts crying. he sort of starts pulling Libby in and gives her another hug, and you can feel tears running down the side of his face and sort of dripping down the side of Libby's face as well. And he's like, that's beautiful, Libby. She'll be so happy.
I'm really gonna have to write that down. Oh God, what was it?
I don't know. I can't remember that long ago.
Oh dear.
It's fine. You've given him a poem.
It's fine. Okay, I'll look through the footage.
Then he's like, oh, dear
Fariana, his wife.
Yeah, well, she will love that, Libby. That was such a wonderful poem.
Okay.
He's like, now you make sure you look after that father of yours. I'm not seen him in ages, and actually I might have a little thing that you should give him, but don't say it was from me, because I've been a bit worried. But he's been drinking too much, and well, you know, he's not been right since your mother parted. And I don't mean, but I've got a little something for him. And he goes and he starts rummaging through a corner, and he pulls out like a bottle. And you recognise it as a very sort of expensive local apple brandy.
Ooh. Okay.
And he's like, now, I don't want to encourage him, because I know maybe he's been taking to the bottle too much, but it'd be wasted on me, is to be quite honest, anything more than ale, and it's not really my thing, and I know how he likes a nice slug of something hot.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Jeffrey. Yes, I am worried about Father as well, actually. He very seldomly sleeps in his own bed anymore. I always see him falling asleep on the couch in front of the on the couch, on the rocking chair in front of the fire, and you know that's where I have to put him to bed most nights.
And he looks at you and wrinkles his nose a bit, and says, well, I don't know what to say, Libby, but you're such a strong young lady. I'm sure you'll manage something.
Well, thank you, Jeffrey. I hope. What what was his wife's name? I don't
Just don't have one at the moment.
You did say.
No, I didn't. I just said his wife.
You just called her name.
No, I didn't.
You
I
just
just said when your mother passed
Oh, you
away.
named my mum.
I didn't name. Oh, his wife's Feriana.
Feriana.
Jeffrey's wife is Feriana.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Ahuiha.
Feriana. Yeah, and I hope that Feriana likes the poem. Do let me know what she says.
I'm sure she'll love it, young Libby. It was beautiful.
And I throw my arms around him and I say, "I see you tomorrow. Bye."
He's like, bye, Libby. Take care of yourself.
Run out, and as equally as enthusiastic as I entered.
He's just like, that girl. She'll be the death of everybody. She's far too kind.